Alright, so today we have 4 different deck lists that I've prepared for you guys. First of all, we're gonna be playing some gadgets. It's kind of a cool deck because it utilizes the gadgets to search another gadget, and you can also utilize a couple of nice cards that essentially switch targets, and you just generate a bunch of bodies. Unfortunately, you don't really do that much with them. We also play the Banisher of Radiance, which is the only floodgatey effect that I play. This is kind of a cool one because it counters every that deck, which is kind of important for the event. And yeah, overall, this is kind of it. We also have a couple of interesting cards like Spirit Reaper, Grand Mo, which is a staple, Gores. It's a tempo deck, it's nothing too complicated. Alright, well, I'm probably gonna need to summon Banisher. I can bring it back with Monster Reborn, so I'm fine with that if they use like a removal. Let's activate Trap the Shield, dude. I haven't used that card in ages. And by the way, it's actually limited to 1 in this format, which is very interesting. Let's see what we get rid of. They're playing Fire Tempo. Oh, so they currently cannot deal with our monsters. I'm gonna deal with the Raging Flame Sprite because they do have a bunch of floodgates. So as long as they don't have the ability to attack as well, that would be great. Also, I could have actually activated Creature Swap and just get their own Witch, which would have been even more funny, bro. Imagine that. That's UFO Turtle. And yeah, of course, that's gonna be some Born strategy here. I mean, I could just beat over it, but I would prefer if I get a... Yeah, dude, that is definitely what I needed. And now I'm gonna show you why he's in a very annoying spot. I mean, Spirit Reaper here is just nasty. I can hand rip him for 1, and he needs to rely on top decks now and set everything on the field, which is horrible for him. If anyone hasn't seen what Spirit Reaper does, cannot be destroyed by battle. It also hand rips whenever it deals damage, and paired with the Banisher, which we have access to, we basically hand rip for 1 and banish it straight up. That's why this card is limited to 1 here. And now they're gonna take a little bit of damage. Also, this card is significantly better when you play it paired with zombies. And when I played zombies yesterday, it was very strong because we have access to it with like Pyramid Turtle or something like that. And as you can see, they just can't get rid of it. I would like for them to not have a monster on the field. How do I do this though? Oh man, I guess I'm gonna go with defense mode and just stall the game until I find removal. I hate floodgate effects. This is so ridiculous. I'm gonna need to find Heavy Storm. I do play Heavy Storm. Hey, yeah, of course they're gonna have the Lava Golem, dude. Yeah, come on, dude. You gotta be kidding me. Can you give me Heavy Storm? That is also good enough. Let's normal summon. Let's get rid of a back row card. I'm gonna get rid of course, Messenger of Peace. I mean, it's already the best target. Now I can activate Monster Reborn and Creature Swap, taking his UFO Turtle so he doesn't get the whole floating effect. I'm also gonna bring back the Banisher because I just want to give him the Banisher. Or actually, no, I'm gonna give him the Breaker. It's a pretty strong tempo play here. A lot of resources spent for that, and technically, it's not a great idea to steal a floating monster because if they destroy it, they get additional float. It's not that big of a deal as long as they don't top deck a monster here. They need a Floodgate because they just gave me a 3000 attack beatstick. By the way, is that Joey on the artwork? I'm not actually sure, but I think that might be Joey here. I don't know who else it will be. Come on, dude. Second copy of Messenger, you're gonna top deck. I don't know how they do it, but I can at least attack with my UFO Turtle, which is nice. Let's just tribute summon so we don't have the Lava Golem here. Basically, give us a little bit of time to work with things. All right, they're gonna set a monster. I can creature swap that, so it's fine, although I'm not sure if that's a great idea. I would assume this is gonna be another floater, so I'm just gonna go Banisher in defense mode. I'm gonna go for a very technical play here. Let's see what he has. Alright, so he has a life point gainer, which is not terrible, I guess. I'm gonna set Torrential even though I lose life points to this, because I just want to be able to have a solution if they do summon something problematic. Please don't set anything, dude. That will be game. Oh, that might be game. Okay. Let's see what I top deck. This is very good, but I don't want to commit it on the field because I don't necessarily need to. Is that Torrential? It might be, but if he doesn't use it now, it doesn't matter. It was Torrential, dude. I think it was. Anyways, that was it, dude. Floodgates cannot win against me. Second time beating a stun player. It feels so good, honestly. Every time I beat a stun player, I'm like... Okay, the second deck we have is gonna be a Monarch deck using a bunch of different Monarchs that we have access to that just hand rip or just bounce or just destroy something or banishing and all that. And we use stuff like Soul Exchange to tribute my opponent's monsters, and we play a more flip based strategy. Now you could play more of a tributing strategy where you just tribute a bunch of monsters or floaters and kind of use something like Creature Swap to swap targets, but I prefer to play flip monsters because they typically replace themselves or give you a little bit of value there. Grave Creeper Spy is one of them, We also have Mask of Darkness, being able to retreat a trap card, and we primarily use trap cards to just get more value. We also have the all of the monarchs here available, the best ones, including this guy, which is actually a negate. It's not a bad card because it's kind of like a Stardust Dragon. It's pretty decent, and yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. Everything else is just nice staples. We also have the Koichi, which can draw you a couple of cards. Nothing too complicated there, just distributing some monarchs. We do have Soul Exchange, that's very good, and a Cyber Dragon, and a Banish, that's very good, and Trap the Shoot, which is probably gonna be useless because we didn't go first, but it is what it is. I think this is a very strong hand, and we're playing against Lightsworn, which is pretty cool. Set 1 and Laiwa. Laiwa is gonna mill. Let's hope he doesn't hit anything relevant. That's very good. They didn't hit anything relevant. Let's see what we top deck here. Breaker. Oh my god, dude, Breaker is so good. All right, we're probably gonna use the Breaker and not Tribute Summon because Caius is gonna be a little bit of a later stage of the gameplay because it can deal with anything and I want to wait. Oh yeah, of course they're gonna have the Torrential, dude. Well, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. We still have more tools, so it's fine. Let's just hit rip for one, though. We have Trust the Shoot here. Trap the Shoot. Let's see what we hit. I would assume they're gonna have a normal summon available. Yep, they do. Plague Spreader is not that big of a deal. So I'm just gonna get rid of the Lumina because it's the best play for the time being. They do have Heavy Storm, though, which is a little too nasty as well. Well, I'm gonna set the Spy just in case they decide to not Tribute Summon, which is probably not gonna happen because it's a very good power play, but who knows. Plague Spreader normal summon is actually a pretty decent play to go for. Summoning the Flame Veil, that is a pretty annoying card, by the way, but it's not gonna deal that much damage. They can also bring back the Plague Spreader, go for like a Colossal Fighter. That's usually a very strong target, but I'm gonna just deal with it with the Chaos because, yeah, just OP. Nope, Red Dragon Archfiend, that is also a decent one. I think that Colossal Fighter is the safer option, but I'm not gonna argue with that. And I'm gonna just go for another copy of Gravekeeper Spy here, which is also fine. So yeah, the problem is I'm gonna lose it anyways, as I said, but whatever, dude. All right, let's see what we top deck. This is a very good one, but I do know they have Heavy Storm, so I'm a little hesitant to set it on the field. Let's go Dekuichi. I'm gonna set it actually because even if they use like a Heavy Storm, it's a 1-for-1. I don't care. If I draw any other good trap card, it will be nice, but you know, Solemn had to go. They're gonna also bring back a monster, which is a lot of tempo. Oh man, this is too much tempo. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to deal with that. All right, so that's gonna destroy my Dekuichi, and also Dekuichi is gonna draw me an extra card, which I don't particularly care about. And top decking Reckless Greed is actually a very good top deck. That was a very nice one. It's time to break the feud, dude. I'm gonna target the Red Dragon Archfiend. I'm gonna Tribute Summon. Bada boom, bada bam. No Red Dragon Archfiend. We summon the Caius, which is very nice, and it has a cool animation. And now we are going to banish a card, and I'm gonna banish, I guess, Laiwa. It doesn't really make a difference. Set 1 just to get a little bit more tempo going. We cannot go into the battle phase, but it is what it is. Oh my god, I forgot this card is not activatable when it's summoned. Oh man, I should have gotten rid of the Lumina. Wait, what? He's gonna... Oh, he has Honest. Oh yeah, okay. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna go Reckless Greed, draw 2 cards, and that's it. If they use the Honest here, I'm honestly fine. Honestly fine. Okay, that was dumb anyways. No draw phase as well, but that's okay. I probably should have used it after the draw phase. That was a little bit of a misplay by me, but let's just normal summon the Koichi battle phase. Let's beat over it. That's very nice. Setting a monster. Okay, what could that be? I would assume it's gonna be a Raikou. Raikou is the most notable one. No draw phase again, which is a little sad. Well, let's just beat over the Raikou. Unfortunately, I don't have anything I can do. So yeah, okay. Of course, I do know that he has it. Maybe he's gonna target the back row. If he does, it's fine. Bro, always hitting the wolf. We have Book of Moon, so technically it's not terrible. Normal summoning also Jane. Well, I'm gonna lose one of my monsters. I am gonna Book of Moon the Wolf, which is very nice. Now Mask is gonna bring back a Reckless Greed, which is still nice. And I'm gonna beat over the Wolf. Unless they have an additional normal summon, they're not gonna win the game. However, if they get another normal summon, even though I have Solemn Judgment, this will put me at exactly 900, which will lose me the game. So I'm hoping they don't draw anything good. Okay, no monsters. Wow, we get to live another turn. All right, let's see what we top deck. Oh, monster. Oh, that's a good one. Let's also go Reckless Greed because we can afford to do that. Let's see what we get. Another Reckless Greed. That's fine. Let's go with Monster Reborn here. Let's go with Dragon Archfiend. It has to be a good one, right? It has to be a good card. Also, we have MST for any back row, and we have future value with Reckless Greed, even though we just skip our draw phases. And we have a Solemn, so we might have gotten out of the gutter, dude. So a recharge -1. I am absolutely gonna Solemn that because I don't want to give him the ability to draw multiple cards. It is greedy. It is very greedy play. And I'm also gonna go Reckless Greed and just draw 2 more cards. This is the value town, guys. I'm telling you, this card is ridiculously powerful in Monarchs here. I'm gonna go with Gravekeeper's Guard and I'm gonna set up a potential to get game. Oh no, wait. No. Is that gonna destroy my Gravekeeper's Guard? I forgot about the Red Dragon Archfiend. Anyways, though, we do have the Dekuichi, so that's gonna be a lot of damage. Gorse is in the graveyard, so they have nothing they can utilize. And we won the game. Somehow we got out of the gutter and managed to win this. Wow. That was a great game, honestly. That was a fantastic game. We managed to win it somehow and scrape the bottom of the barrel here. This one I'm very excited about because it's actually 6 Samurai and it uses Great Shogun as well as the Grandmaster. I think this is one of the cooler aggro/tempo decks in the meta. Not necessarily the best possible option, but it is kind of fun. It also gives you a bunch of removal like set spells and trap cards. We also can target face-up spells and trap cards. And we have a bunch of battle effects that can kind of counter our opponent's plays. And we of course utilize the 6 Samurai United, which I by the way got a rolled version of it, which was pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a simple 6 Samurai deck, just tempo based deck. That is a very nice hand. However, I just have 2 trap cards that are useless, but I can special summon up to 3 monsters here, just basically get my whole hand on the field. Dimensional Fissure and summoning Wild Heart unaffected by trap cards, very interesting idea. Let's normal summon the Zanji here in that case, and I can special summon the Grandmaster, which is very good, and I can also go for the Great Shogun, which is also very nice. And if they torrential me, that's gonna be horrible. And there's a chance they're gonna have the torrential here, by the way. You know what? I'm actually not gonna play into the torrential. Let's just proceed to the battle phase, dude. Because they have specifically wild card, I am pretty sure they're gonna play torrent. Never mind. Okay, enough yapping. Yeah, let's just set 2 and I can just special summon the Shogun anyways. Okay, so I played around Torrential, which would have been a decent idea if he were to have Torrential, but there's actually a pretty interesting strategy with Wildcard because they can play a very stacked trap-based deck and it just doesn't get affected by it, which is nice. It's fun. Okay, now it's game phase. I'm actually gonna use my Phoenix Wing Blast because I don't want to get my cards banished because I can utilize the effect of Grandmaster and return it to the hand, but if Dimensional Fissure is available, that will be a problem. So I am also gonna keep some of my monsters in defense mode. I'm only gonna keep these 2 in attack mode. Let's proceed to the battle phase and let's see what my opponent has. Oh wow, that is needle seeding. That's horrible, bro. Come on, dude. Exactly 4 monsters on the field as well. I guess I'm just gonna bring back the Zanji and maybe have a little bit of a follow-up there. Okay, that's gonna be a difficult matchup to deal with this. I'm actually gonna Torrential the Zombira here because it's just worth it not losing that many life points. Summoning the Turret Warrior. Okay, he wants to push for damage here, which is a little annoying. Now we're gonna go with another draw into Yaichi, which is another card that doesn't really matter that much. I'm just gonna set that and play for the stall game and try to top deck something. Okay, that's gonna be 24, but I am gonna top deck a card. Yeah, dude, this is a completely useless card now. Please, I need something good. This is not very good. I'm just gonna do my best here. Let's summon. Let's activate the effect. Please give me a good top deck. I need this so badly. Oh my god, dude, come on. Nah. Bro, 6 Samurais are actually pretty bad. I think this is probably the worst deck out of the 3 options that we're playing. I am very disappointed from 6 Samurais.